Christy, what's been the biggest shift of yours in your life after you became a caregiver, and how have you adapted to it?
For me, it's my independence being gone because it's like having a small child again, but it's so much more in depth because it's easy to find someone for the 3-year-old grandbaby. Okay, fine. But to find somebody to care for Haley while I go to the grocery store, while I go on a wine tour, just anything, it's so much more difficult. And I understood that when she had her trach tube and other things of that nature, that was a lot more, oh God, what happens if she chokes and everybody freaking out?
Yeah.
But we're over a year later that we don't have any of that. So it's not that hard. It's just supporting her while she walks so that leg doesn't give out. And I still have a hard time getting people to help us. I have not been able to find a paid caregiver through any of the organizations. And I'm like, so it have to depend on family members, and there's very few.
So, what has the rehabilitation journey through your perspective, and what moments have stood out?
For her, it's the first time she walked, of course, as mom, when she was completely paralyzed, was, even though they were holding her up and her hair looks, when they didn't even know if she was going to really be able to function properly or any of that. So the first time they stood her up and she was able to walk was very emotional. And then first time with her trach tube, she had it for probably 6 or 7 months and she hasn't made a sound. We spend our whole lives going, would you just shut up? Right? You know you do to your kids, especially when they're young. Just be quiet. You just give me 5 minutes of peace. I didn't realize how much I would miss her voice. And we went for yet another treatment and whatever. And the doctor took her trach out and was putting a new one in. And all of a sudden she went, and the doctor went, wait, what? Do it again. And so the lady kind of pushed on it just a little bit because she hadn't secured it. She had just stuck it in there. And Haley went, and then she said, say something. And she said, hi. Me and her brother both just bawled.
I
We just bawled. Oh my God. And then, but unfortunately, the next time they changed out her trach, she couldn't talk again. They say something about the way it just happens to slide in, how it puts the pressure. But once, actually, next week will be 1 year since she's had her tracheoplasty, and the trach has been gone, and she's been talking ever since. So it's the little things, the
yeah.
big. It's little things that we spend so much time going, just no, stop it. And now it's being able to hear her voice. It's just little things that you don't even we just take for granted that I have never thought about the amount of effort it takes to do simple things. We take it for granted because it comes so normal to us that when you see her not being able to do something and then all of a sudden she does it,
Mhm.
it's like it's eye opening. It's very eye opening.
Do you think that Haley was aware enough, like, where it's like when she was able to talk in, it's like freedom in a sense? Because
Yeah,
she
she
talked a
did. But
lot.
then unfortunately, she couldn't talk very much because it took so much air. Her oxygen would go down. So
Oh,
at first, they're like, we know you want to tell everybody you can talk, but you need to stop. Yeah, they said you need to stop now because when you're talking, you're not getting any air. So then she's like, okay. So, it was very minimum talking, doing therapies and things. But, she still communicated with us and, she still takes like nobody's business. So again, we were extremely blessed.
so were there moments you like seemed so a bit like were there moments where you felt like invisible or unsupported as your role as a caregiver? And if so, like what how do you navigate that?
I still do today. I still feel very alone because, and this is just my versions, and
Mm,
I love my daughter, and I am so thankful that I got to keep her. But a lot of times, everybody else's life went on. It just did, but mine stopped. I've had to move several times to find caregivers for Haley. There have been people that have helped me. I'm not going to say they haven't,
mm.
but full time basis, it's a lot because it's even more than with a child. It really is. It's different than even a newborn. And so a lot of times I do feel very alone and that nobody understands my frustration and my sacrifices. So I keep saying I need to get into therapy, but there's always one more thing to do and one more this. And I still have not done that. So like Monday, I got a slew of calls to make for Haley.
Uh,
So it's like And when I'm at home, sometimes I don't want to do anything. When I get the moment, I don't want to do anything. I just want to veg out. I want to sit. I don't want to because I have done so much the hours previous. So part of me not taking care of myself is because I don't allow myself time because I can't stop thinking of everything else that needs to be done for her that I don't make time for me.
So like it's if someone today became a caregiver, what advice would you have for them?
Ask lots of questions, and it sounds funny, but if somebody is willing to come and sit for an hour, take that hour from them. It's not what you want. It's not the biggest break you're going to get, but if they want to bring you a meal, take the meal. One less dish to cook, one less dish to wash. Anything that people will offer to help do,
Take it.
take it. I know it might sound very small, but I would love for somebody to come over here and cook and clean for one meal, even one meal, just one meal would be nice. Sometimes it's something as simple as that.
Okay. So like as being a caregiver and having to like how do you emotionally and physically take care of yourself when you have to take care of someone else significantly?
I haven't really figured that out yet because I have got to go on a cruise once and I have another one coming up in November, but that most of the time I don't because I either am at work
Mm.
or I'm at home and I'm making phone calls and I'm handling things. I haven't really figured that out. And we're getting on 2 years and I have yet to figure that out, how to find the happy balance where I don't have to do it all by myself, but there's so many things that I know that for me to take the time to go, okay, well, sis, can you do da da da? Well, but you need to know this. But you don't forget, you got to tell them that. So it's just easier for me to make that phone call because all the knowledge is here. And I try to write a lot of it down because I have a notebook. Every time I call a doctor, every time the insurance calls, every time we get a diagnosis or something, I have everything wrote down
Mm.
by date. And that helps me, but it's still not enough for someone else to be able to call the doctor, go, oh, I need to see neuro. Well, why do you need to see neuro? Well, she was doing this and this. And it's so hard to get all the facts to let somebody else make those phone calls. Because, when you call a doctor, they want to know why you want to see them.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a lot to write down. And so I'm still working to find that, how to let other people help me, even if it's not in the house helping me. How can I pick up?
Same
It's
though.
to try to find those moments like, you know what? Someone says, I got her. We're going to sit here and watch Twilight or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Go to the grocery store. Take those few minutes and go to the grocery store. Got to get back because I got to try to just say, okay, I got this hour and free to go to the store. If maybe get your nails done, or even if you just go for that cup of coffee, take that extra 10 or 15 minutes to get that cup of coffee or that soda
Okay.
and just breathe because you're always trying to think of the next thing that needs to be done, but it is a lot of stress. And what I'm saying is from experience because I don't take that time. I don't find that time to disconnect. It will take its toll on your health. And so if anyone gets anything out of it, find a way to take that 30 minutes. Even if
Okay.
it's you
Okay.
stay up a little longer once you finally get everybody in bed. Read a book, drink
Okay.
a cup of coffee before you wake them up. Something, because if not, it will take its toll because it has definitely done that for me.